So Jazmine and Sebastian, you guys were both at Pax East a week and a half ago now.
Yes.
What was that like, Jazmine? You want to tell me about that?
It's cold.
Yeah.
There were no Ubers
Negative
to the
6
convention
with wind chill.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty exciting though. It was definitely my first PAX I've ever been to. So I've heard about PAX a lot. I used to follow Penny Arcade a lot. But that was the first PAX I've ever actually been to.
I still don't know what Penny Arcade is.
They make comics. They make web comics.
Okay.
About video games.
Was that your first time at PAX?
It was, yes. Yeah. I've been to Comic-Con in San Diego, which is like kind of like that, but more broad.
More cosplay? More costumes, I guess?
I mean, Comic-Con's not like necessarily... Well, there's more people, but it's movies and TV and video games and everything. So this was just video games.
Right.
Yeah, it definitely had the most amount of people I'd ever been in one venue that I've ever been to.
What were the booths like? I mean, what type of companies were there?
There are a lot of various ones. I mean, there's kind of like the big ones that have big video games like Nintendo and Bethesda and Blizzard, yeah. But then you got the smaller ones, kind of the indie game guys, and then you kind of on the outside have a bunch of people who are selling various stuff like D&D dice and cool stuff like that. Or you got some schools, other things like that are trying to recruit people into game programs and stuff. It was pretty neat. It was a good variety of stuff.
What were some of was there a lot of VR stuff there, or was it mostly sort of console games or computer games, things like that?
There was a lot of everything. I'd say maybe like 10 or 20% was VR. I don't know.
That's actually higher than I was imagining.
I might be. It
might be a little bit of a high estimate. We went out and actively.
We were looking. We were like straight going for VR, but there is a number of them.
Yeah, there were more than 0.
Yeah, it was in the double digits, but like low double digits.
Yeah, probably 30 or something, maybe total.
Did you buy that WoW statue?
I didn't because it was what was it $350, $250? But it's a statue of Ilium Stormrage. It's 2 feet tall, and for only $250. It's a pretty good deal.
It's like 15 feet a foot or an inch or something.
Yeah, it looks really nice. But it's not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I found it kind of interesting that there were some of the people that I was expecting to have VR experiences didn't have any. Like, I've been excited for a while. Bethesda has been talking about this Vive Fallout 4 thing that they're going to do. And, it wasn't there, and I didn't necessarily expect it to be there, but I thought it would be pretty cool if they were showing that off. Seeing how PAX is a very, gaming convention sort of thing. But with or without VR, their line was very, very long.
What were they?
Yeah, that was the thing. All the lines were it was hard to kind of get in on anything because the lines are some of the lines were at capacity, so you couldn't even get in line anymore. You had to wait till the lines were died down to get in line, but they never really died down. So and you weren't allowed to linger around the lines that were at capacity.
Yeah. The specifically Bethesda had like Elder Scrolls Online and a couple other things like that, but not nothing like crazy new or anything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we had the same experience with the one thing I really, really wanted to try out was the Rick and Morty VR experience. But
he's got a VR company now, right? Didn't you have a demo for the Vive?
Justin Roiland he has got a VR company.
They were part of the Cartoon Network.
Squanch Tendo, that's what it's called.
Is that separate from the Rick and Morty game, or are they?
The Rick and Morty game is made by the same people who make Job Simulator, Alchemy Labs, but I don't think that he worked on it. No, besides providing voices, obviously. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much. I know they worked together to make a couple of games, VR accounting and stuff like that. Yet? Accounting is out, and I played it a couple times. It's a little not safe for work, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that he was even there. It was just the game was there. The whole Cartoon Network had a big booth. Or was it Cartoon Network or just Adult Swim?
It was Adult Swim.
Yeah, it was Adult Swim. But, yeah.
What were some of the VR stuff that you guys kind of ran into there?
We kind of, did the first couple of days, first day or so, we spent most of our time looking around for VR experiences to try out and see what everybody had. There were some pretty cool ones. Going into the VR peripheral sort of thing, one of the ones I thought was interesting was Virzoom, which is it's a VR exercise bike, and so they had a couple games with it. One of them was you're riding a horse, and you're trying to like lasso enemies or whatever.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Do they make those games, or do they just make the bikes?
I don't know, but
Because they sell the bikes, right? That's like a product you can buy.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty neat though.
Yeah, it was cool. They had a really long line too.
It's
Nice
one.
way to burn calories.
Yeah, it was one of those things that showed you that like you don't have to get like crazy complex with your peripherals, and you don't have to put like a ridiculous amount of technology into it, like a completely tracked gun, for instance. You can just make a much more immersive VR experience with a simple peripheral that just kind of stands in for.
Well, it seems cool because you're kind of bringing people from the gaming market into the activity market, and people from the activity market into the gaming market, or I guess in this case VR, in some way.
It's like the Wii.
Right.
Yeah, like I think Wii Sports is like the most sold game of all time or something.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, they also bundled it with the Wii itself, so you bought it
Yeah.
whether or not you wanted to.
It's true.
But that's a tricky
I
trick
played
they can pull.
a mean Wii bowling. I'll tell you that.
I really like the Wii Tennis. I think it's great.
Tennis is
I think I like VR. I don't even like real tennis, but yeah, my favorite one was Across from Virzoom. It's not a shooter game at all, but it's what was it called? Lighting in VR. It's like it was just really like nice looking, like calming, pleasing little like universe you're in, and you like turn mirrors around to solve puzzles with beams of light. It's just exactly like this one boss in WoW. Except he's a giant eyeball, and you turn the mirrors around to shine light into his eyes, so he goes blind. But yeah, pretty cool stuff.
What is that? Is that a Vive or is that an Oculus thing?
Oh, I have believe
It was
a
Vive, Oculus, and PSVR. It was all three. They had the whole platforms.
Oh, speaking of Vive, there were some cool solutions to having a bunch of Vive setups in that space. Some nice little nifty cardboard cutouts around the Vive stations to block out the light.
Confused?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you
I've had
can-
that problem before.
If you have an object detecting more than 2 base stations, it'll just freak out. So they were just like blocking off things with curtains and cardboard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Apparently it worked pretty well.
Yeah, it's definitely, in some of them you could tell they had like figured that out that day with like scraps they had laying around their station.
It's the ultimate screen watching thing. You can actually affect someone else's game from yours.
So speaking of screen watching, Samurai Punk was there with a game. So they made a game called Screen Cheat a while ago, which is a pretty fun game. Essentially, the general gist of it is that the only way to all your characters are invisible, so the only way to win is actually view the other. Like the only way to kill another character is to view their screen to see where they are and that sort of stuff.
That's great.
But they had a pretty cool game there. It was like an American. What was it called? American Dream or something like that.
The American Dream.
Yeah.
Made by Australians.
Yeah, they're an Australian company, so they probably know a lot about the American Dream.
What was that about? I mean, obviously the American Dream, but
It was
what
like
was the
a-
premise of the game?
A 60s like family lifestyle game it looked like, but you did everything that you needed to do with a gun in your hand,
Ted
like
Cruz
a
type thing?
pistol.
Well, it was like you made hot dogs with a gun.
Yeah,
Or
like start your car. I don't know if it had that, but like stuff like basic. You know, it reminded me of, I don't know why, it reminded me of Octodad, where you're like doing family stuff, but you're an octopus, and you're control. Have you guys heard of that game?
No.
Oh,
Never
okay.
heard of
So
it.
Octodad is a game where you like have a wife and kids, but you're an octopus and they're a human, and you have to like feed the baby and like pour coffee and stuff like that. But the control, like everything's just moving all over the place because you're an octopus, and you can't really control your hands like a human. So you're like doing regular day-to-day stuff, but in a like weird. I guess the interaction is weird because you are an octopus. So it reminds me in that way because instead of being an octopus, you have a gun.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
That makes, I don't know. That doesn't really make sense, but that's how it feels.
Yeah, that one I didn't actually get to play that, but it looked pretty neat. They weren't the only game company that I had known of before, though. There were a couple other ones that I'd heard before that had different games. In particular, Servios, who are the guys who made Raw Data.
Oh yeah.
They had a new game where it was kind of essentially like a whole proof of concept for different types of locomotion. And so they were using this it was a racing game kind of where you would pull the world your way. It's kind of like,
The lab.
no, it wasn't in the labs. It's a completely separate game of their own
Okay.
that they specifically made. and you like if you want to walk, it's essentially like you do like a skiing type motion. You kind of grab the world and just pull back and forth for like you're essentially pulling the world towards you.
It's pretty much exactly how walking is like when I'm dreaming. I don't know if you guys have that's like literally you're like trying to move in your dream and you're like, let me just move this whole.
I've had a couple dreams like that.
Yeah, I have that all the time. That's interesting.
It shows that there's still like a lot of innovation going on with locomotion, and nobody's standardized it yet. And how far can you really go with a weird type of motion without making someone get motion sick?
Yeah, I know. Like for mobile and stuff, it's very. You point, towards something and you gaze, and then maybe you can walk towards it, or you hit a button and then you start walking for pretty much indefinitely until you hit another button to stop.
Really, if everyone just played games as if they were in a wheelchair, it'd be pretty easy to solve that.
There was
I think a wheelchair game would be really fun because it wouldn't break your immersion because you'd be sitting and you'd just be moving around like you
Starbreeze
do.
made a game like that. They made a Walking Dead version where they had a little shotgun and you were in a wheelchair and you had to you were being pulled back or whatever, and you were being pulled and there was some other NPC character that was pulling you around, and you had to shoot zombies while you're running away from them.
Not to mention for people actually in wheelchairs, they can totally get into that full experience. For them.
So are there any other, I guess now that we've been to PAX East, or you guys have at least, what's kind of next as far as, are there any other, is there like a West version of the PAX East, or I guess the GDC happened
I think there are 4 PAXs total. There's PAX East, PAX South, which is in, I don't remember what it is. This is in the southern U.S. No. There's PAX Australia.
Oh, okay.
And then
totally
there's
3 off there.
Yeah, and then there's PAX Prime or PAX West, the original PAX.
Okay. Is that in
Seattle?
No, it's in it's in Seattle.
Yeah.
That's because that's where Penny Arcade's based out of. There's GDC, a bunch of other things like that. Besides Oculus Connect, PAX is the only other large game convention expo that I've been to up until this point. But pretty excited to go to a few more.
How are the experiences different, I guess, going from Oculus Connect, which is, I assume, a lot of developers, right?
Yeah.
And then PAX is, you got more consumers there, I suppose.
Yeah, Oculus Connect was really interesting. It was, much more developers, people talking from the technical side of playing a game, not just playing a game. There's really developers and press were the 2 main people.
There were no vendors there, right?
No, yeah.
PAX is a very huge part of PAX is people selling their crafts.
Yeah, it was a lot more structured than that. There was maybe less than 50 different types of games
demoed. More of a conference than a convention.
Yeah, exactly. You pretty much have the opportunity to go and try everything, which you couldn't possibly try everything at PAX unless you had a Groundhog Day sort of situation.
Mm-hmm. Or if you're an exhibitor, you can get in.
Yeah.
Get in early, which we definitely want to be an exhibitor in the future at PAX or some other similar thing.
Yeah, definitely next year I think would be something we should look at. Seems like a really cool experience.
We had one guy ask us if we were exhibiting. He saw our shirts.
Some guy just saw our shirts and read off, and he was like, "Hey, Ilium VR, you guys have an exhibit?" And we're like, "No."
Yeah.
Well, we've got nice shirts now, so.
Yeah.
They we kind of came to the conclusion that we wanted to get a booth next time and exhibit after talking to some of we got some good friends that were demoing this time at Null Space VR for their product Hardlight VR. It's like a VR vest, haptic vest to give you all the feedback. They just actually succeeded in their Kickstarter campaign, so congratulations to them.
Yeah, their booth was hopping. They had a huge line every time we went by.
What were they demoing on with the vest? What game?
They had 2 games. They had one that was their standard demo that they have, which is a desert. You got a bunch of scorpions coming after you, and you shoot, with the Vive controllers, and they simulate recoil on your forearms. Because, you shoot a gun and it kind of pushes your wrist back and the forearm feels it. Yeah. So that's what they do is they make it vibrate, and especially when they have a haptic engine and stuff like that on your forearms. But also, if you're playing and you get shot, so if you shoot yourself, or they would let another player grab a Vive controller and point at you and shoot, you feel all of that across your chest.
So cool. It reminds me of Do you remember the Brendan Fraser movie, The Mummy, with all like the scarab beetles and things like that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, yeah. I bet they could have a cool experience like that too. I mean, one of the scorpions in it was like huge,
Yeah.
like size of a truck.
And then their other game was made by some developer. There's not them. I remember.
Yeah, it looked like a partnered game, something that
They told us about it too.
I totally forgot
Yeah,
the name, but it was really cool. It was like kind of a samurai type of game where you would go around and destroy. You're in this kind of Japanese village or palace or whatever, and you would use your samurai sword, and it kind of in the same way when you go and swipe against like an enemy or something, you kind of feel a little bit of reverberation because of the forearm actuators.
Now, is that vest wired or is that wireless?
I think it's wired.
Okay.
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was curious about like the power needs on that.
Yeah, I think they have a USB port. I'm not 100% sure on everything, but I'm pretty sure I saw it like wired with a USB port on the back. So
Yeah.
It's possible that it is wireless and they just left it charging the whole
Yeah.
time because of how long they're doing it.
yeah, like maybe those are demo units or something,
Yeah.
that, as opposed to the product that they're releasing for the Kickstarter.
Now, did you
I'm
see
sure
any-
an interested person could find out.
Yeah.
Did you see any of those, any treadmills there, or, I don't know, you got the bike there, you got the vest.
I don't
you
think
got
there
the
was any
peripheral
treadmills.
stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember any treadmills there. As far as I know, the market for VR treadmills is like pretty hard to get. It's
Yeah.
it's
I
a
know.
seller's market, definitely.
Now, Oculus was there demoing a ton of different games, and like you could wait in line and hop in one of their little booths, but I don't think they had any.
I think they were
Any-
kind of like in a VR area. Like I don't
Yeah.
even know if it was Oculus. Oh, I guess it was.
There
'cause it
was,
on
yeah,
the
because
map.
they had their logo and everything all over it, but they had Vive stuff in that same area as well.
So
But I
there
didn't see any
were
treadmills.
Concentrated areas of VR companies, or were they sort of spread out?
Oh, they were very spread.
Yeah.
I guess
They
rather
were
than
concentrated in the sense that like you'd see 2 or 3 together. But I think we saw 2 or 3 together. Like the ones from Australia were all together
Yeah, they were. That
because
was,
they were from Australia, not because they were VR.
Yeah, that was like the Australia Roadshow, PAX Australia.
Yeah, and then Virzoom was across from the Lighting In guys and a couple other guys, but generally they're spread.
Yeah, there was a big like kind of area where Oculus was, and there was like big vibe. It was a pretty big area, but it was explicitly just for people to try out random demos of. But it was like honestly like you've never tried VR before. Wait in line for 45 minutes, and you get a 10-minute or 20-minute experience in these little booths. So it was big, but it wasn't like anybody selling a particular thing. It was just like, here's VR set up here.
Yeah, it was similar to their main like big like PC arena they have in there, where you can wait in line and get on a really nice gaming PC and play for 45 minutes of like whatever game they have. But it's not like the developers aren't necessarily there; they just have games for you to play.
And what's the deal with this shell games? I Expect You to Die. I've heard of this game.
Yeah, they were there. Shell Games is like a pretty popular indie game studio. They make like a bunch of licensed stuff, but they're based in Pittsburgh. But they made a game like a while ago called I Expect You to Die, and I think it might have been on the Oculus DK1, but it was definitely on the DK2. And I played it on the DK2, and it's essentially like like a classic escape the room game, like if you played on like Flash or something like that, it's like, oh, you click this thing and oh, you find a screw and you find a screwdriver and it's the same thing, but I've only played the first level, but you're in a car and you're in like, it's like a James Bond type world.
I played that. Yeah.
Yeah, so like you're a secret agent and you're trying to, in the first level, get out of this secret agent car and take it out of a plane and steal it. And there's stuff like dynamite in it and like gas canisters, like for tear gas and stuff.
Yeah, that was one of the first VR games that I played where it was really intuitive and almost like unexpectedly so. Because I think the first game I played was maybe Dread Halls.
I think Dread Halls was the first one I played too.
Yeah. So
Besides the Oculus like
demo.
we're just walking
The
around
Tuscany
that house,
demo, yeah.
which was beautiful, but there wasn't really a game.
yeah, I think you could actually like
Dread
you
Halls
could
is
hold the revolver and stuff.
not
Yeah,
that
you,
intuitive.
you can get the knife and then hold the revolver and stuff. It's actually much better with like actual controllers. When I first played it, you just use the Xbox controller, whatever, the mouse, and you go click the things. But actually going out and grabbing the thing is much easier to handle and it's much more intuitive.
Yeah, I'm sure that's great on the touch now.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's on the Vive yet, but I'm sure people use Revive and other things like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that are better with the controllers, can you play Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes with the touch?
I don't know.
Because I feel like it'd be a lot better We should revisit that game.
Well, there might be a lot of problems where you like accidentally click something.
That makes it better though. It's more realistic.
Blow up, yeah. Yeah, I've never.
The stakes are high.
There was a Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes competition there, like a championship, a tournament.
Yeah, we should have done that.
Yeah.
We're very good at that game. But
I don't know what the prize was, but I should go
I
look
don't-
it up so I regret
yeah,
not going in.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you guys see there? Anything?
cosplay everywhere. There's lots of Overwatch. Probably 90% of the cosplay is Overwatch, but it's very good. There's this life-sized Reinhardt who's like this. Well, how tall was it? Like 9 feet tall?
A little more than that, probably.
Yeah.
Probably,
Like
9 or 10.
9 or 10 foot tall guy. Like it was. I mean, I think this guy's done it before. I think he was at BlizzCon. I think
It's pretty impressive.
probably seen it over the internet.
Repeat offenders.
Yeah, I mean, if you spend that much time and money on a cosplay, you better go to more than one convention with it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I wonder how you get that on an airplane, though.
Yeah, I mean, you probably got to ship it.
Yeah.
If you guys went in cosplay next time, what would your costumes be?
I just wear a Vive headset. Just be blind the whole time.
No, I actually said this while we were there. I would cosplay as Reaper from Overwatch, and I would get a voice modifier, and no one would know that I'm a girl. And then I would take it off, and they would be like, "Oh, that's weird."
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty exciting. I think like next year, whatever events we go to, I'm going to be excited to see kind of how the market share of VR, as as it relates to the gaming industry as a whole, how it increases. Because we saw maybe 20 or 30 VR expos here. I don't know what percentage of that ends up to, but I have a feeling that over the next few years, it's only going to go up.